Life, it is divine, the greatest, most precious gift in the universe, which is often traded in by people for power, passions, and ambitions. History, the silent witness of both progress and destruction. It informs us of the catastrophic acts which were performed with the so-called good intentions of people who have somehow climbed to the heights of authority and chose to change the course of humanity. Every time someone takes on the role of God, one thing is certain: the suffering of mankind is great and life is scattered like sand. The earth cries out as it receives the pain, tears, and blood of those who were created to beautify it and to increase and multiply in it. The Jews, a remarkable people, who many refer to as God's people, have written numerous songs of life. These were written out of deep appreciation for the value of life and its mystery. Mystery which begins with the opening of the tender eyes of a child and should be allowed to continue until one's hair turns white. For the person of the 21st century, it is hard to imagine the horror and anguish of millions of human beings who fell into the Nazi mill grinder and were given over as sacrifice to the global deception which believes that people are defined by race and ethnicity. Holocaust means burning, extinguishing of life. Holocaust is destroying dreams, hopes, and destinies. 6 million dreams, 6 million hopes, 6 million human destinies were trodden under and burned in the gas chambers and crematoriums. But this film does not carry the message of the spirit of death. Instead, it carries the melody of life, life that triumphs over death. Among the people of Europe who had fallen under the influence of National Socialism and who had exchanged the lives of their Jews to gain Hitler's favor, there was one people who defended the children of Abraham. Those were the Bulgarian people. There is a legend which says that when God gave territories to all the nations, no land remained for the Bulgarian people. At that point, God took a piece from heaven and gave it to the Bulgarians. Bulgaria was given unbelievable gifts of nature, mountains, rivers, sea and plains, but most of all, hearts full of love and compassion to fellow humans. One cold morning in 1943, troublesome news arrived in Sofia, the capital city of Bulgaria. the Commissary of Jewish Affairs had sent a list of Jews who were to be deported from Bulgaria to the Kyustendil municipal authorities. This news threw the Bulgarian society into panic and alarm. Bulgaria was an ally with Nazi Germany. Subsequently, the Bulgarians were expected to willingly give over their Jews to Hitler's death camps. At that historical time, 49,000 people of Jewish descent called Bulgaria their home. In spite of the Nazi policy, which had strong influence in the nation, at the time the order for deportation to Poland had come, the Jews were still relatively free citizens of Bulgaria. The policy would not bring the breath of death to this part of Europe as well. The Jews were an inseparable part of the Bulgarian society, and for this reason, the Bulgarians took an immediate and firm action against this inhuman act. There were several strong Bulgarian personalities which stood behind the Bulgarian nation in support of rescuing the children of Abraham. Dimitar Peshev, the Associate Chair of the Bulgarian Parliament, Colonel Avram Tajer, the Sofia Metropolite Stefan, and the Plovdiv Metropolite Kirill. These brave men stood in the forefront of the campaign to nullify and revoke the order confirmed by the fascist government of Bulgaria, headed by Prime Minister Bogdan Filov. Massive political influence within the Bulgarian government, supported by powerful interference by the Bulgarian Eastern Orthodox Church, succeeded in convincing the governmental ranks about the deportation. In spite of Bulgaria's union with Germany, the King of Bulgaria at the time, Boris III, chose to heed the united and explicit voice of the Bulgarian people. He ordered the cancellation of the deportation of the Jews, and by doing so, risked his crown and life. The Bulgarian people completed a sacred obligation before God and their brothers and sisters of Jewish origin. They preserved the lives of 49,000 men, women, and children. "65 years separate our generation from these dramatic events. But Thanksgiving still holds its place in the hearts of the living Bulgarian Jews and their descendants, most of whom now live in Israel." Love and friendship between Bulgaria and Israel, the two historically connected nations, continues to yield their fruits in various fields of life. There are incredible families of Bulgarians and Jews who are a product of this rescue mission of the Bulgarians. Kalin and Sharon Tchonev are one such family. Their lives are a symbol of the connection between the two nations. Kalin and Sharon bear personal witness to the significance of this event. Sharon is the granddaughter of David and Lydia Varsano, two Bulgarian Jews who were rescued during the Holocaust. Kalin and Sharon diligently work toward the keeping of the link between the two nations. Inspired by God, the Tchonevs initiated an international music festival called Songs of Life, a festival of thanksgiving. The International Choral Orchestral Festival was presented through the collaborative efforts of Jewish and Bulgarian singers and instrumentalists. Thousands of people who have attended the concerts in Bulgaria and Israel were touched by the inspired performances of the participating choirs. Kolenu Jewish Community Choir of Columbus, Ohio, USA, under the direction of cantor Jack Chomsky. The Bulgarian choir Morski Zvuci, representative of the Bulgarian sea capital Varna, with conductors Marin Tchonev and Rosica Shtereva. Also the Tel Aviv Chamber Choir, conducted by Michael Shani. The audiences were especially moved by the mutual performances of all the participating choirs, the Sofia Philharmonic Orchestra, and the Ra'anana Symphonet Orchestra. These capable ensembles, united under the baton of Maestro Dian Chobanov, performed the monumental Jewish choral work Sacred Service by the eminent Jewish composer Ernest Bloch. The Songs of Life Festival can surely be defined as a thanksgiving festival from the Jewish people to the Bulgarian people for the rescue of 49,000 human lives who faced certain and dreadful death in the concentration camps of Nazi Germany.
Преди 65 години България драматично спаси всички свои евреи по време на Холокоста. В поредица от 3 опита нацистска Германия се опита да унищожи и българското еврейство, наред с другите европейски народи. Но смели, достойни българи, като се започне от царя, през парламента господин Димитър Пешев, двамата глави на Българската православна църква, митрополит Кирил и Стефан от Пловдив и София, и много други българи, достойни и смели българи, се застъпиха и предотвратиха това огромно зло. Целият български народ е бил за и е пазил евреите, дори когато са били екстрадирани от столицата София в по-малки райони в страната. Българите са били изключително топли и внимателни към своите евреи.
Гордеете ли се за това, че българите са направили това нещо, са спасили евреите в България, защото в други държави не се случва?
Мисля, че се гордея. Това е достойно за един народ да спаси друг народ. В името на живота, в името на... Особено в тия времена, когато наистина евреите са били гонени и са били унищожавани. Това е било позор за човечеството въобще.
Ами, горда съм с това, което българският народ е направил, защото то не е дело нито на правителството отделно, нито на царя. Просто всички прогресивни и добри хора по това време са се обединили, за да могат да спасят българите.
Това наистина е повод за гордост, за това, че сме показали толерантност, че сме доказали способността си да живеем заедно, способността си да се погрижим за другия, който е застрашен от някаква опасност. И наистина е страхотно, че сме успяли да се обединим. Значи църква, правителство, народ, съседи, приятели.
Разбира се, че се гордея. Това говори, че българина е един от малкото народи, които е проявил смелост. Това е смелост, за да можеш да защитаваш хора, които от години, векове са гонени.
Страшно много се гордея с този факт и като се върна така във времето, нищо по-достойно не сме направили от този героичен акт за спасяването на българските евреи. От тогава насам.
Какво мога да мисля? Само мога да се гордея с това. Това е един факт, който се признава от целия свят. Така че България е записала името си в световната история, като е запазила живота на тези хора.
И ние действително сме една от малките нации, които са спасили евреите. Затова, защото аз съм бил и в Освенцим, и в другия Дахау ли беше, доколко си спомням. Картината беше ужасна. Там ни показаха нас, тогава бяха с млад асистенти, хубав като вас. Тогава ни показаха на нас правенето на абажур от човешки кожи. Показаха ни на крематориумите, които са ги изгарали тия хора. Това беше нещо ужасно. Така че заслужава това нещо да се направи и аз ви приветствам.
The Songs of Life Festival began in Sofia, the capital city of Bulgaria, in the most prominent concert hall, the Bulgaria Hall. Diligent rehearsals were conducted toward the Bulgarian premiere performance of Bloch's Sacred Service. The three choirs from Israel, Bulgaria, and the USA, together with the Bulgarian National Philharmonic Orchestra, were unified by the skillful leadership of Maestro Dian Chobanov.
It's been my dream to sing this work with such a fine choir and orchestra, and ever since I started studying the classical repertoire, I knew I had to sing this. It's one of the most moving works in the Jewish canon. I have at least 6 recordings. I listened very avidly to the recording that Bernstein conducted with Robert Merrill, who I actually got to know in the later part of his life. And this is like the Jewish Verdi Requiem. It's the Jewish Mozart Ave Verum Corpus. And the staying power of this music, which was written in the 1930s, it's timeless. It's such a romantic work, and then to do it here for such a meaningful reason in Sofia and in Plovdiv is a great honor.
Maybe you can share with us what has stirred your heart to come and join us, and how this particular festival is close to you, to your heart, and a little bit of your story.
Well, I heard about the Song of Life, and I was very, very impressed with the approach to celebrate with Bulgaria and Israel the fact that the Bulgarian government didn't hand over the Jews to the Nazis, and I just celebrated myself or marked the occasion of Kristallnacht in Germany, so the whole reconciliation or memory of the Holocaust is very close to my heart. I've sung the Avodat HaKodesh many times. I even conducted it with my choir several times and sang it a few times around the world with symphony. And so when I heard about it, I was very excited to come here.
Произведението, което се изпълнява, е много интересно. За нас е малко необичаен периода, в който ни започнахме репетиции. Това е края на лятото, началото на есента. Обикновено в това време във Варна все още продължаваме вакансията, но въпреки това интересното произведение, красивото произведение и повода за неговото разучаване убеди хористите и ги развълнува, и ние с голямо удоволствие разучаваме това произведение.
Mr. Michael Sheni, welcome from Tel Aviv.
Thank you.
Tel Aviv Chamber Choir is one of the 3 choirs for the festival Songs of Life. What are your impressions of this festival and your involvement? Please tell us how do you view this festival?
Well, first of all, the rescue of the Jewish Bulgarian is not a secret in Israel at all. And we all know it. And it's kind of heroism for all of us. And we are very grateful for the opportunity to be here, to sing, and to celebrate this victory of humanism, actually, of the Bulgarian people. And we see our tour as a kind of a contribution. And not, usually we are, or many times we did memorial concerts, memorial tour in Germany and other places. And here is a Thanksgiving, kind of Thanksgiving concert, which is quite different. The atmosphere is quite different. We're very happy. For me, it's the first time in Bulgaria, which I heard about this country, this nation, the Bulgarian people, so much. And I'm very fond of the Bulgarian kitchen, as I told you. So it's a great celebration for all of us.
The organizers and participants of the festival were honored to have Mrs. Sita Milchev, granddaughter of the composer Ernest Bloch, as a participating singer and guest of the festival.
The Temple Emmanuel in San Francisco commissioned this work, and grandfather was the director of the San Francisco Conservatory of Music from 1925 to 1930, and in the late 30s, Cantor Rinder from Temple Emmanuel commissioned him to write the sacred service. He went to Roveredo, which is the Italian part of Switzerland, and he wrote this piece. He was not a practicing Jew, so he had to learn Hebrew completely. And he went through the Reform book, and he learned everything that he possibly could about the services, the Reform service. And this was one of his most favorite works. And I performed this work many times, and he only heard me sing once. He never heard me sing this piece. But he really enjoyed meeting Cantor Rinder and with the Temple Emmanuel in San Francisco.
In their announcement in front of the Bulgarian media, Kalin and Sharon shared the following.
Ще представим една велика творба, която се казва Свещена служба от Ернест Блох, американски композитор. Тази творба е основана на еврейски молитви и старозаветни текстове.
I wanted to personally thank the Bulgarian people for the rescue which you have performed 65 years ago of the Bulgarian Jews.
חותכת הדממה שמע ישראל אלוהי אתה כל יכול נתת לי את חיי נתת לי הכל.
A day before the premiere performance in Sofia, Kalin and Sharon prepared an incredible surprise for the Bulgarian people. 49,000 flowers were distributed in the streets of Bulgaria to the Bulgarian people, exactly the number of Bulgarian Jews rescued in Bulgaria 65 years ago. Together with the organization of the Jews in Bulgaria, Shalom, the Bulgarian evangelical Christian communities of Burgas, Yambo, Stara Zagora, Plovdiv, and Sofia, Bulgaria, and the festival participants who had come from the United States of America, Canada, and Israel, something unusual took place in Bulgaria. Tens of thousands of flowers flooded the streets of the major Bulgarian cities with the incredible fragrance of Thanksgiving. This was an unexpected honor and noble gesture, a demonstration to the descendants of the Bulgarian rescuers on behalf of the descendants of the ones who were rescued. This unique event brought out emotions of amazement, delight, and national pride among the Bulgarian recipients.
So beautiful.
In the invisible realm over Bulgaria, there was an outpouring of national thanksgiving, reaffirming the love between two great people.
Добър ден, здравейте, на концерт ли идвате?
Концерт.
А знаете ли по какъв повод се организира този концерт?
60 години Холокоста.
Нещо да кажете повече за това нещо, какво мислите?
9000 карамфили раздадохме, значи ние сме потомците и това е благодарност на евреите към нас за тяхното... Нали, тогава се е способство да не бъдат депортирани.
Концерт, който е повод на 65 годишната от...
Спасяването на евреите.
На евреите, да.
Какво мислите по този въпрос?
Как? Аз първо съм ходила там, където трябва да бъде. Видяла съм какво е постигнато фактически сега вече с тяхния пренос в човешката цивилизация. И смятам, че благородна е била целта с участието на България за спасяването на толкова много хора.
Църква на българските демократични хора на времето. Това е било наистина нещо голямо.
Че е подвиг на целокупния ни български народ и че когато сме заедно можем всичко. Това мисля.
Не просто достойна постъпка, може би един от най-съществените приноси в световната хуманност на българския народ в последните 100 години.
По какъв повод е днешния концерт, знаете ли?
Да, това е годишнина от спасяването на българските евреи.
А какво мислите по този въпрос вие лично?
Какво мисля? Мисля, че това е един великолепен хуманен акт, който трябва да остане в историята.
Аз тук се борих с оръжие в центъра на града.
Наистина ли? Разкажете ни малко повече за това.
В какъв смисъл?
Какво се случи тогава? Какво беше?
Значи, подготвиха от страната да бъдат изселени евреи и пратени в крематориумите в Полша. Там са немските. Обаче нашия народ, получен от освободителните войни срещу действия срещу турците, не допусна да се направи тая глупост историческа.
Все пак аз съм българка и съм много щастлива, че моите предшественици са направили такова добро дело.
Значи аз съм по принцип руски. Аз смятам, че това е уникално историческо събитие. Че такова просто в история няма.
Това е един акт не само на историята, но и на съвремието. И искам да сложим онзи мост между нашите предци, които са осъзнали важността за спасяването на един човешки живот. Не става въпрос дали е за евреи или за някой друга малцинствена група в страната. Една толерантност, която мисля, че трябва да продължава и днес. Особено в това време, в което живеем. Все повече и повече имаме нужда от толерантност.
Днес идвате на концерт. Знаете ли какъв е повода на този концерт?
Да, поводът е 65 години от спасяването на евреите от българите.
Какво мислите по този въпрос?
Смятам, че това е нещо много добро. България е направила много за евреите и това е благословение за нашата страна. Който мисли доброто на евреите и прави добро, той ще намери благословение.
The triumphant beginning of the Songs of Life festival in Sofia at the Bulgaria Hall was followed by a concert of thanksgiving in the second largest city of Bulgaria, Plovdiv. There, in 1943, during the struggle for the rescue of the Bulgarian Jews, Metropolite Kirill, the head of the Bulgarian Eastern Orthodox Church for the region, mobilized the public opinion in favor of the children of Abraham. Having learned that the Jews were locked in a Plovdiv schoolyard, Metropolite Kirill went in front of the entrance and ordered the guard to let him in. Nervous and confused, the guard blurted out, "But Your Holiness, this isn't possible." "Just try to stop me," replied the brave Metropolite. In an instant he jumped over the fence, stood among the Jewish prisoners and declared to them, "Wherever you go, I go." The same day he sent an urgent telegram to Sofia with the following text: His Majesty King of Bulgaria, Boris III, the Royal Palace in Sofia. Your Majesty, in the name of God, I implore thee for mercy to the Jews. Signed, Metropolite Kirill, Plovdiv. After the moving concerts in Bulgaria, the Songs of Life Festival continued to the Holy Land, Israel. Today, Israel is a modern country in the Middle East, located on the southeast shore of the Mediterranean Sea. Israel has a democratic parliamentary government and a prime minister elected by the people. According to most observers, Israel is the only country in the Middle East that can be defined as democratic. Characteristic of the governmental law system is that the country does not have a written constitution, since this function is performed by 14 separate laws, known as the Fundamental Laws of Israel. Israel is the only Jewish state in the world. Despite the fact that Israel is a relatively young country, it has a thriving and well-developed cultural life. Cultural and art centers have been established with modern halls and galleries in which artists from all over the world perform and enrich the Jewish people with their achievements of diverse creative art. Among the population of nearly 7 million people live over 50,000 Bulgarian Jews. These are part of the rescued Jews from Bulgaria and their descendants who were born in Israel. The first concert of the Songs of Life Festival was held in Petach Tikva, one of the cities in the Tel Aviv area that has the greatest concentration of Bulgarian Jews.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Guy Bracha, and I'm thrilled to be hosting tonight's event, Songs of Life, International Choral Festival here in Petach Tikva. מה שהתחיל לפני כשנה כטיול תמים לגרמניה, הפך כיום לפרויקט מהלב, כפי שמכנים אותו יזמי הערב, הזוג קלין ושרון צ'ונב. שירת החיים הוא פסטיבל הודיה לעם הבולגרי, במלאת 65 שנה להצלת כל 49,000 יהודי בולגריה בזמן השואה. הערב נכבדים, חזנים, זמרי מקהלה, תזמורת פילהרמונית, מחנכים ואורחים מרחבי ארצות הברית, קנדה, בולגריה וישראל חברו יחדיו למטרה נעלה זו. אני מזמין אתכם לצפות בסרטון קצר שצולם לפני מספר ימים בסופיה, פלובידיב וערים נוספות שבבולגריה, בו חילקו נוצרים ויהודים 49,000 פרחים ברחובות לעוברים ושבים. פרחים אלה מסמלים לא רק את הנפשות שניצלו כמובן, אך גם את הקשר בין היהודים והנוצרים בבולגריה אז והיום. בבקשה.
be distant, O God, when thy name shall be worshipped in all the earth, when unbelief shall disappear and error be no more. We fervently pray that the day may come when all men shall invoke thy name, when corruption and evil shall give way to purity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye.
Jerusalem is Israel's single and undivided capital.
Стани свети Ерусалим, отърси се от праха, великолепни дрехи облечи, мой святи град.
In Jerusalem, Jews, Christians, and Muslims live side by side despite of the challenge of the time. I am ascending to Jerusalem. And this is not said only because the city is built on a hill which one truly needs to ascend, but also because it is believed that Jerusalem is the place where one is closest to God, and approaching Him is always connected with the continuous uplifting of the human soul upward toward its Creator. Thus, Jerusalem is not only one of the main tourist destinations of the world. From ancient times, coming here is signified in one word: worship. People consider Jerusalem the sacred capital of the world. Here, one senses a peculiar presence, and each person perceives it in a unique way. Songs of Life festival reached Jerusalem in a brilliant concert of thanksgiving. The sacred service of Ernest Bloch, with its noble solemnity, contributed to the completion of the harmony of musical works performed throughout the centuries from this holy tribune, the sacred capital of the world.
Part of Songs of Life. It is a wonderful joining together of all ethnicities and cultures. I think it's an excellent presentation of the love that Jews and Christians have for each other, which is not always very obvious. And I'm just grateful for the saving of the Jews by the Bulgarians and so excited to be a part of it. It's beautiful music, wonderful people, and a lot of love.
Първото, което искам да отбележа, че съм горд, че мога да участвам в проект с такова съдържание. Това е нещо като че ли ново. Аз не съм чувал да е имало до сега такъв проект. Такава политическа, културна и чисто човешка значимост. Страхотно е да се работи с голям апарат от хора, които са събрани от толкова много страни, говорят толкова много езици. Искам да отбележа високия художествен момент в целия фестивал. Трите хора, които участват, са подготвени изключително добре. За мен не представляваше в този смисъл никаква трудност да работя с тях, за което благодаря на техните ръководители. Самите концерти винаги са като един празник за всички. Аз много се също радвам на тази смесица от професионален и да речем полупрофесионален ансамбъл. Искам да кажа в този смисъл, че хората, които пеят, които не са професионални музиканти, те го правят с много ентусиазъм, с много желание, го правят само единствено заради идеята. И това дава вече един друг привкус на самия фестивал.
I would like to say a few words from the depth of my heart and in behalf of my colleagues, the conductors, and of course the singers. We are grateful for the opportunity that Sharon and Kalin gave us. And not only to us, but to the audience, to the people in Bulgaria, in Israel, and maybe around the whole world. This is a matter of humanities and art and feelings and mankind and all the great things that we are used to think and talk about it, but here we are sing about. The sacred service, Avodat HaKodesh, is not only a sacred service for God, it's for mankind. This is, I think, the true challenge that we all have to face. I mean, look at the heart, at the people. What are we trying to tell them? The rescue of the Jews in Bulgaria during the Holocaust, during the Second World War, is something that is beyond our understanding. But when we sing about it, we feel it.
In San Francisco, the Holocaust was not a reality for us. We were much more afraid of the Japanese than the Germans during World War II. Most of us did not have relatives who were lost. Most of us are the descendants of people who came to the United States in the mid and late 19th century, long before the Jews of Eastern Europe came through. So actually, this was a long and difficult connection for me to relate to the Jews who speak Yiddish and who lived in shtetls and small community and who were persecuted. But this is a step forward in my personal development in helping me to realize I'm part of that larger Jewish community. That I had never in my life heard one thing about Bulgarians who had saved the Jews, never. And after World War II, we heard a lot about the Danes and the Dutch and how the good they did, and other countries which sacrificed the Jews, never one word, because of the Iron Curtain came down and the Russians came in and not a word leaked out. So it was very important to me, and I felt it was a wonderful opportunity. Besides, I have friends in Israel, and I would go on this tour. It's been a great challenge for me to learn and perform this music. I sing tenor, and my roommate turned out to be Sita Milchev, who is the granddaughter of the composer. And she has helped me and said that I am the choir's tenorette, which is rather cute. At any rate, I am thrilled at the response we've had. The film that shows the people receiving the flowers one-on-one was just brought tears to my eyes.
It was a great pleasure and privilege for me to participate in the Songs of Life Festival, along with members of my choir from Columbus, Ohio. Like many people, I did not know the story about the Jews of Bulgaria before I heard it from Sharon. This was a very inspiring story, an exciting opportunity to perform what I consider to be the greatest liturgical work ever written by a Jewish composer. And to come together with these wonderful singers from Bulgaria and Israel and the United States and Canada, it was a real celebration.
Онзи ден, на 27-ми, беше първия концерт в Израел в Петах Тиква и залата беше пълна. Имаше, може би, 1/3 от залата бяха български евреи, хора, които са се установили в Израел от последните 50 години, както и дядото на Шарон. Той е все още жив, беше на концерта и доведе от своите приятели 50 души. И много хора бяха докоснати и развълнувани по един особен начин, защото тая инициатива и тук в Израел не е провеждана по такъв особено личен план, в личен план, както направихме с тези концерти. Много се надявам също за един силен концерт, особено окончателния ни концерт в Йерусалим. Тук е по-различна публика. В Йерусалим са представители от най-различни племена, различни народи. Надяваме се, че хората ще бъдат така развълнувани и ще протече хубаво концерта.
For me personally, working with Kalin for this International Choral Festival, Thanksgiving Festival, increased the gratitude in my own heart that it is not for granted that people's lives were rescued, that the Bulgarians were God sent, whether they knew it or not, at that point in time to rescue God's chosen people. Maybe they don't see it this way. I do, and I know many in Israel do. 90% of those who were rescued made Aliyah to Israel in the 1950s, and they today have children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So the seed of Abraham was enabled to continue through God using the Bulgarian people. I see us being here as a mission, an international mission, to come and express thanksgiving from the nations to Bulgaria, and then to come here to Israel and maybe in a way remind the Israeli people that we ought to be thankful for all the good that was done to us, and to be thankful to God for the Bulgarian people. So for me, what motivated me was this heavenly mission, because Thanksgiving is something so beautiful, which releases so much and which opens the heavens for an outpouring of blessing. If we don't say thank you, we don't appreciate. And in a way, I think that a part of the blessing does not get unlocked. So I believe, as hundreds of musicians in both Bulgaria and Israel have expressed thanksgiving, and even more so by singing Avodat HaKodesh, scriptures of the Old Testament and God's promises, we have reinforced the thankfulness, and I believe that the impact will be even for generations to come. We don't see all the impact right away, but we have done what we needed to do, and I believe that the ramifications will show themselves in the near and further future.